Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show today. I'm really glad everybody could join us because today we're diving into topics that I love, which has to do with marketing. We're going to be talking about automation. We're going to be talking about artificial intelligence. We're going to be talking about some of the newest trends to hit digital marketing and things you need to know as an entrepreneur to be ahead of the curve. Because, again, when you're an early adopter of this kind of technology, that's what gives you the best advantage to get in early and start reaping all the rewards before other people start jumping into that technology. So with us today is Magnus. Now, Magnus Unemyr is a renowned author, global speaker, and thought leader in the field of marketing automation with a particular focus on advanced integration, marketing with artificial intelligence, and how data and insights from internet-connected devices can drive marketing automation logic, all of which we're going to be diving into soon. Now, Magnus has spent the last 20 years in the global software industry focusing on marketing, the Internet of Things technology, and the semiconductor chip industry. He co-founded an international software company that built and maintained a distributor network in 50 countries, and he now concentrates his effort on helping companies advance and grow their business by sharing his knowledge as an independent consultant. Now, Magnus has published many popular books on internet marketing, marketing automation, entrepreneurship, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence. His latest book, released 2018, is entitled Data-Driven Marketing with Artificial Intelligence, Harness the Power of Predictive Marketing and Machine Learning. We'll talk about that a little bit later today as well. Now, Magnus currently resides in Sweden and is sought-after speaker for seminars and conferences in Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, throughout Europe and the USA. He's also the founder and author of the blog, his last name, unemyr.com/blog. Put that on the show resources page as well. So Magnus, thanks for joining us today.
And thank you very much for inviting me.
Well, I'm really excited you could be here because, your expertise is all the stuff that I love. I love artificial intelligence and automation in marketing, and I'm really excited to have somebody as smart and experienced with you, as many books under your belt as you have, to come on and share with us today.
And thank you for letting me onto the show as well.
So let me ask you, an overview. What are some of the newest trends? As we're getting into 2019 here, what are some of the newest trends that you're seeing happening out there with digital marketing?
So I would say there are several different trends. One is the introduction of chat robots or chatbots. I see obviously machine learning, predictive analytics, or AI in marketing becoming quite the norm, at least in some of the larger companies. I see we will become far less spammy and have much more personalized outreach that is adapted to the current context. So we will monitor how people behave on the website, and then we will send just the right information to the right person at the right time based on what we know about that person and what that person have done in the past.
And I want to talk about each one. No, go ahead. I said I wanted to talk about each one or more of those individually, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then if you take a look a little bit more into the longer-term future, let's say 2-3 years down the road at least, then I think we will start to see the growth of internet-connected machines driving marketing decisions and initiating and triggering marketing automation outreach. So we will have machines that generate data on how they operate and are being used, and that data will be harvested for insights using AI algorithms, and those insights will trigger marketing outreach automatically based on how particular machines is working.
So Magnus, what do you think? How is AI and these type of things you're talking about really going to change the marketing landscape?
It will change it in many different ways. One is that we will have fully autonomous marketing systems that make decisions without manual or human intervention. We will have systems that are truly data-driven, and therefore we are basing our marketing decisions on facts rather than gut feeling. And we will be able to personalize the outreach at scale at a level never perceived before.
Interesting. So when you talk about some of these things, do you think that this will really disrupt marketing as we know it?
I think it will disrupt marketing in the sense that the traditional way of working by traditional marketers with traditional skills will be disrupted. I don't think it will be disrupted in the sense that customers or potential customers will no longer receive marketing, but the marketing they receive will be much more context adapted and much better personalized according to their specific interests. And just take one very simple example of how you can use AI in marketing on a very basic level. Say you have some kind of email marketing software and you want to send a mail shot to 100,000 leads. And traditionally, you have sent the 100,000 emails at the very same time. But with AI-powered email software, that software may harvest insights on each individual recipient on that email list and adapt the email send time to each individual person, such that the system will send the 100,000 emails at perhaps 100,000 different times, optimized for each individual recipient to optimize the open rate.
Interesting. So nowadays when that happens, you could select a time based on time zone that they're in, et cetera, et cetera. But what you're saying in this example is AI will be able to come in, will know the time zone that they're in, will also maybe even know when they're engaging, opening emails, et cetera. It will then figure out the best time to send that individual an email. And then instead of just sending 100,000 people emails at the same time, it will deploy those emails at the time that's best to get that intended result of an open.
Exactly. And we will see that kind of personalization in many different areas as well. But that is pretty much the idea, yes.
Now, one of the big things you said is to gather data. So how are you seeing AI actually step in and being able to give us the ability to gather more data?
Well, AI itself doesn't help gathering the data. Rather, it's the other way around. You need the data gathering to have data to put into the AI algorithms, I would say. So you need to record how people behave on the website. You need to record how their purchase patterns are in the web shop. You may want to start to collect data on how machines operate, and that may trigger marketing decisions that are truly autonomous, and the marketing automation systems will start to initiate, for example, email outreach based on such facts that are found by harvesting the data using AI algorithms.
So how are you seeing AI not only be able to gather the data, but then organize it in a way that it makes sense for a business owner to then be able to use it and deploy it to actually help them?
So I think it's quite hard to say that, because AI can be used in so many different ways. And in my book about marketing with AI, I identified well over 100 different use cases. So from the simple example of adapting the email send time for each individual recipient to AI solutions that actually assess the performance of public speakers and give advice on how public speakers can improve their speaking performance the next time, and everything in between. So I think the question is, I often get the question, how can you use AI in marketing? And people would expect 2 or 3 different answers. Probably a chatbot being one of the expected answers, and perhaps a churn prediction or a customer lifetime value prediction in e-commerce web shops being expected. But the truth is that we will see AI everywhere in marketing. For example, in SEO or search engine optimization efforts, we can have large-scale AI analytics of which types of blog posts for a particular keyword seems to turn up higher in the Google search results. Or we can use AI algorithms to optimize the ad purchases. So we can have an AI robot that continuously in real time, 24/7, optimize the return of investment of the ads we purchase on digital channels like Facebook or Google. So anyone, for example, who now spend their workday helping companies to purchase and optimize ad purchases will probably be made redundant in the next couple of years due to AI robots doing that far better.
Magnus, of all the ways, you said there's like 100 use cases of different things people could do. What's some of the lowest hanging fruit? What's just some of the easiest things that somebody can go right now and get access to AI and start using it to help them on a basic level?
So I think that some of the, as I mentioned, some of the email software will probably quite soon start to use AI for optimizing the cadence or the email send times for individual recipients. I think that people who own or run a web shop will use AI for product recommendations or product search result optimizations. including churn prediction and customer lifetime value prediction. I think these are quite basic usages of AI in internet marketing. But then you can have, for example, CRM systems currently harvest the internet for additional insights about the contacts they have. This is called data enrichment, when the CRM systems go out and start to harvest the internet for more information about the leads or contacts that exist in the database, for example.
Well, and let's talk about that, because this is a huge trend that I see developing in 2019, which is that a lot of businesses are now building their own databases, and they're building their own databases by using these third-party data sources where they're able to take a customer's information they have maybe in their CRM, go out into the world, these third-party data sources, and then pull all this information about these people back in to their CRM. So what do you think about that? Are you seeing that kind of trend develop where more businesses are now going out and getting more of this information from all these sources and pulling it into their own systems?
Yes and no. You can do very large-scale data harvesting on the internet, and I will mention one interesting case soon. But we also have legislation that now starts to control that. For example, here in Europe, we have a GDPR. That is fairly tight regulation on how you can store and use information about individual people, and that is starting to limit what we can do, at least here in Europe.
Interesting.
But I think one quite interesting use case is competitive intelligence, or competitor intelligence, or market intelligence. And I, for example, used a fairly large European aircraft manufacturer with this some time ago. There are AI robots that can scan the internet for insights about what intelligence we can find about competitors, perhaps even customers, suppliers, other types of partners. And these AI robots scan the websites of those competitors. They scan the websites of news portals, job boards, product review sites, etc., and find the most interesting and important insights related to that competitor every day, and provide a report which is prioritized also using AI. And so, for example, if an AI robot finds that a price has been changed on a pricing page of a competitor during the last night, then those AI competitive intelligence AI robots are smart to realize that the change of one character on the website was in fact the price change, i.e. is important to report, and was not the correction of a spelling mistake, which would not have been valuable to report as a competitive intelligence. And so they don't only detect the changes of a competitor's website, but they can also understand whether or not that change is important to report, or if it should be filtered away.
So, Magnus, you talk about a lot of different case studies here of how AI could be used. But let me ask you something. As a small business owner, how do I just start using it? Am I relying on like my CRM software company to adopt it and then get the benefit from them adopting it and using it? Is there a way I can go purchase AI, or are there resources and tools I can go to start getting this AI and put to use? Like, as a small business owner, what's my action step? What can I do to start grabbing some of this AI and using it? Or do I just have to kick back and wait for the technology I'm using, like my CRM, to adopt it?
So I think the easiest thing would be to look to the CRM vendor or the marketing automation system vendor you have. Take, for example, HubSpot or even ActiveCampaign. These marketing automation systems have something called lead scoring. And traditionally, you had to create your own calculation model to define which actions on the website would give different scores, such that we could calculate the guesstimated interest level of different leads. So, for example, if someone came to the website, that would give a +1 point. If it came to the pricing page, that was a stronger sales signal, so we would give +5 points for that. Downloading a PDF would give, for example, +3, and so forth. But now, marketing automation systems and CRM systems like HubSpot have something called predictive lead scoring, whereby they use AI algorithms to automatically detect how interested someone is to buy. So you don't even have to create the calculation formula manually anymore. So you basically just get a score for each lead in the database in range of 0% to 100%. but is the estimated sales readiness of that particular person. So one person might have a 22% sales readiness or lead score, and some other person could have a 75% lead score because they have done more things on the website. And with predictive lead scoring, these marketing automation systems or CRM systems can find out automatically how ready someone is to buy. And they do that by comparing the online behavior or the digital footprint of a new lead with the behaviors of our actual paying customers before they became customers. And the similarity level then gives you a percentage grade on how likely a new lead is to buy soon. And then you can use that grading 0 to 100% sales ready to trigger marketing automation logic. So forever lead who is 25% ready to buy, then we can send a sequence with a soft sales message, for example. Whenever that person do a bit more things in the next few weeks or months on the website, they come up to 50% lead score. We can send an email sequence with a harder sales message. And if some of those leads do even more things and come up to the 75% lead score, then we can actually ask a sales guy to contact them instead.
Okay. So can a business owner develop their own AI? Because you're describing circumstances where somebody uses a CRM like Infusionsoft or Salesforce. They're coming in, somebody's taking actions, they're clicking, they're opening emails, they're then getting a lead score. When the lead score gets high enough based on their actions, and then certain actions take place. So we're talking about scenarios where AI exists within other technology, and us, in order to access it, we have to access it through other sources that are creating the AI. Can we create our own AI? Do you see business owners making their own AI from scratch to do certain things?
You can certainly do that, but that would be a fairly large undertaking for most small business owners, I think, unless they are in the software development and AI industry to start with. The vast majority of marketeers and businesses will use AI because it is built into the CRM software or other software they buy, and it will be hidden under the bonnet, so to speak. AI will improve the behaviors of the software you already bought and use, and you may not even be aware there are AI technologies under the bonnet. But you can certainly develop your own AI software, but that requires some skills in software development. You need a software development team, some product manager. You need some data scientists that can create the mathematical algorithms. When you need to have a lot of data to train the AI algorithms on. So it's a fairly large undertaking unless you have fairly large financial resources or happen to have the skills to develop your own software and AI algorithms beforehand, which probably is not the case for most small business owners, I would think.
Magnus, what are some other forms of automation, AI or not AI, that you're seeing working really well for business owners right now?
So I think we can step back and just have a look at traditional marketing automation. So Infusionsoft or Acton or ActiveCampaign or HubSpot, for example, where we can automate the sales and marketing processes, thereby nurturing the leads towards the purchase automatically. And we can integrate certain marketing assets into such sales processes like webinars, which can be live or pre-recorded on-demand webinars using certain webinar platforms, online booking calendars, whereby we can send emails to potential leads with a call to action button that offers free consultation calls. And if someone clicks on that button, then we direct the lead to an online booking calendar which is synced with the private calendar of the sales guys, and whereby we can have leads to self-identify and self-select a suitable time for the call, so we don't need to send a lot of emails forwards and backwards to negotiate a time that fits for the call, for example. So we can, even without AI, we can automate quite a lot of the sales and marketing processes and basically put the business growth for the marketing on autopilot.
What about social media? What are you seeing? How does automation take place in working well with social media?
In different ways, to different extent. I was a quite heavy user of automation tools on social media a year or two ago. I grew roughly 40,000 followers on Twitter in 3 months across 2 different accounts using some automation tools. And I then had Twitter robots that could auto-forward certain tweets and auto-replied and stuff like that. But Twitter, like some other social media platforms, have started to limit how much automation you can do because they want to have a less spammy platform, which is good. I currently use a social media posting robot, which is called Meet Edgar, to manage most of the activities I have on LinkedIn. So my robot posts about 1 post on LinkedIn every day, which is robot driven. But there are AI-based tools now that actually auto-generate the text in the post as well. So my robot just takes posts that I have written manually and then publish them according to a certain schedule or so forth. But there are now even AI robots that actually writes the posts as well. And perhaps that feels a little bit dangerous because AI may still not be mature enough for that, possibly.
What are some of the big changes in 2019? What are some of the newest trends in AI and automation and technology that you're excited about that's just hitting the scene?
I think that the marketing industry will find out that connecting machines to their marketing concept will be the new big thing after AI, which is now becoming commonplace. So we will see, for example, let's take 2 examples. In the B2C space, we can take a bathroom scale that is internet connected. So, for example, my bathroom scale has been internet connected for the last 4 years. So whenever I step onto the bathroom scale, my weight is sent to some cloud servers, which can present nice graphs and stuff on my weight change patterns. But if we apply AI algorithms to that weight change data, then, for example, the supplier of that bathroom scale can detect that I will most likely gain weight 4 weeks down the road, because other people with the same weight change pattern I have now did in fact increase their weight 4 weeks later on. So, for example, if I subscribe to some grocery service or if I'm part of a weight watching club, they can start to send me different recipes or different training programs to combat the fact that I will go up in weight or gain weight unless I change something already now. In the industrial space, let's take the example of a windmill farm. Nowadays, many machines have sensors, for example, on the ball bearings that measures the heat and vibrations. And by measuring and monitoring the heat and vibration patterns of a windmill, we can detect that the current vibration and heat pattern matches the windmills that actually broke down 4 weeks later. So we can already 4 weeks in advance detect that the machine is about to break down, and we can then use that insight to start to send automated marketing outreach to the owner of that windmill and offer them spare parts or service visits to prevent the machine from actually breaking down.
Interesting. Now, one of the things you'd mentioned earlier was chatbots. So how are chatbots, I think, in general, changing marketing?
I think that there is probably a little bit too much hype about chatbots currently. First of all, everyone thinks that chatbots are AI driven, and I would argue that many or even most of the chatbots we see today aren't in fact AI driven at all, but they are just following a sequence of conversational flow that is pre-designed. There is also a huge number of chatbot development tools out on the market, and I think we will have to see a consolidation in this market because there's just too many different chatbot development platforms around. I think we will start to see a lot more chatbots, but perhaps the most interesting thing is when we take the chatbot conversations and put a voice interface on top of them, so we can actually speak with the voice assistants, which will then initiate services, and that will also be quite dramatic to the marketing industry. So in a few years' time, we may actually access most of the internet services through voice assistants. And at that point in time, I think search engine optimization may become redundant, because if you ask the chatbot to find a product that is of interest to you, it will not read out aloud 20 or 100 different options. It will just read out the top product that they recommend. and therefore it will only be meaningful to be the top one search result on Google or Amazon or wherever, and anything else will be meaningless because you will not be read out aloud, and therefore SEO may lose its importance in the future if voice will be the predominant user interface.
What are some of the most effective ways that you're seeing people use these bots in the marketing world?
I think many people start to use chatbots in Facebook Messenger. But if I were to develop a chatbot, I would pick a chatbot development platform that has cross-platform support. So the same chatbot conversation logic would be deployable both in Facebook Messenger, perhaps Apple iMessage, perhaps on Slack, Twitter, and in a chatbot window on my website. So I would not use a chatbot development platform that only lives in Facebook, for example, because that would be quite stupid when there are chatbot development tools that can deploy the same chatbot on many different platforms.
Now, one of the other things that you talk about a lot is this thing called the Internet of Things. So what is that? What does that refer to?
So it's basically when all the products will be internet connected. So I mentioned before the bathroom scale or the windmills. McKinsey, which is a famous consulting firm, predicts there will be about 1 trillion internet-connected devices and machines by 2025. And we will start to see these machines accessing internet services automatically or autonomously without human intervention. We will also start to see those internet-connected machines start to make autonomous purchases. So, for example, and this is actually been quite under the radar, but Amazon bought a real-time operating system used by electronic designers to create IoT products that sits in hundreds of millions of internet-connected devices. And that enables Amazon to let those internet-connected machines and devices to actually start to purchase products from Amazon web shop, should they choose to enable that capability to the operating system they now have for electronics development. And so the coffee machine or the washing machine will have a large canister of coffee beans or detergent, and whenever that is about to run out, the washing machine or the coffee machine will purchase new supply automatically from the preferred web shop. So it could be Amazon or something else. But we will start to see machines making autonomous purchases, as well as triggering autonomous marketing decisions that trigger marketing automation outreach. For example, when a machine feels ill and is about to break down, let's say.
Now, another thing that you mentioned is I think these called LOT devices. Is that right?
Don't really know what you refer to here.
So I think it's like LO and then a capital T. There's these kind of devices that are out there where data is being used from these devices to drive marketing automation. And I mean, I think you're talking, and you've talked before about like phones and all the data points that's able to come from these other devices that's out there. So I guess Internet of Things, I guess IoT devices, that's probably what you're referring to. So these IoT devices are basically what you're referring to as the things that communicate with the internet, the scale, for example. So that's one of these IoT things that I think you've described where these devices are then using data to drive marketing. Is that the example you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, so pretty much everything will be internet connected. So in the home, you will have a burglar alarm, you will have a the fridge, you will have a microwave oven, stuff like that. You will have light bulbs. Everything will be internet connected. But also in the industry, we will have machinery, industrial sensors, stuff like that. There is now even an initiative to hook up pallets, for trucks and lorries to the internet, whereby each individual pallet can be tracked using 5G mobile connections. So pretty much everything will be internet connected, and we even have currently animals being and livestock being internet connected. So they surgically implant medical sensors into animal. And then we can offload data about how these animals are feeling and if they need medical treatment and stuff. So it's fairly far out, I think.
Yeah. Well, and we talked a little bit about basic and I guess advanced marketing automation too, but what's the difference to you? I mean, what's the difference between just basic marketing automation any business should be doing, and then the advanced stuff, which is maybe reserved for people that are a little bit more advanced in their marketing?
So I think that when we talk about marketing automation, many people think that just having a registration form on the website that initiates the sequence of newsletter emails is marketing automation. But to me, that is not marketing automation. That is just simple newsletter email or email marketing at most. Marketing automation is where we extend the logic a little bit more. We have adaptive behavior, and the outreach can change dependent on what someone does on the website. So, for example, if someone comes to the pricing page of my website, then the next day I will start to send free emails, for example, because visiting the pricing page, that is a sales trigger. So I can send some follow-up emails related to the fact that they actually came to the pricing page. If they watch more than 25 seconds of a video on my site, then that may be a signal that triggers a different set of emails being sent just because they watched more than 25 seconds of a video. Whether or not they attended to a webinar they have registered to will affect which kind of email I will send to them later. And so I think to make it marketing automation, it will have to be adaptive and adjust automatically dependent on what someone is actually doing. And whereas you just have a registration form and send the same newsletter email to everyone, it's not really marketing automation. That is just email marketing.
So Magnus, what do you think, where can business owners go? What should they be monitoring? What should they be looking at to keep up on the newest trends in AI, to see what's happening with technology, to keep kind of an idea of what's coming up trend-wise so they know the things they should be jumping in on, including chatbots and lead scoring and these other type of things?
I think that just using the old friend Google and Google for marketing with AI can be a good start, or just follow some of the marketing automation websites. The chiefmartech.com blog by Scott Brinker, for example, is a good blog. The marketing automation vendors like HubSpot or ActiveCampaign, for example, all have quite good blogs with loads of information about marketing automation. It is also possible to visit my blog, unemyr.com/blog, for quite a lot of information about marketing with AI or marketing automation. And if there is a particular interest in marketing with AI, then my book, Data-Driven Marketing with Artificial Intelligence, may be a good start.
Listen, this has been enlightening. There's so much great information that you've discussed today. But man, I've been on your website. I've been on your blog. I've looked at a lot of your stuff. There's so much other information we didn't even have a chance to dive into. What are steps that everybody that's watching and listening today could take to be able to get in touch with you, learn more about taking their CMO, the marketing position that they may have, and outsourcing it to you, learning more about the AI, what's possible there? What can they just do to connect with you and learn more?
So they can search for me, Magnus Unemyr, at LinkedIn and connect with me on LinkedIn, certainly. If they go to unemyr.com/formula, I have a free guide, The Secret Formula to Marketing Automation Success, that can be downloaded for free. And certainly contact me privately on LinkedIn or using the contact information on my contact page on my website, and I will be happy to help.
Awesome. So everybody, the place to go is, and it's a Swedish name, so I'm not saying I will pronounce it 100% correct, but it's unemyr.com, which is unemyr.com/formula to grab what he just talked about, that free resource. I'm going to put this on the show resources page. I'm going to put his LinkedIn profile. I'm going to put Magnus's blog on there, and I'm going to go ahead and put some other links on there that I think could be very helpful for you. Magnus, thank you so much for coming on with us today. This was awesome.
And thank you very much for inviting me.
And everybody, don't forget to visit unemyr.com, unemyr.com/formula to grab your free gift and to be able to get some more insight about what's happening, the trending in technology, AI. Like I said in the very beginning of the show, you need to be an early adopter. When you're talking about technology like Facebook and chat and these type of things, These platforms want you to be an early adopter, and they reward you by giving you a lot of exposure when you are. So you don't want to be the person that's reacting to trends and letting your competition get ahead. You want to be at the forefront. And to do that, make sure you visit unemyr.com/formula. I will make sure that that link is available for you on our show resources page. Thanks, everybody, very much. Have a great day.